This ayat has been mentioned differently in different biblical accounts. So I tried to count them, but it's difficult to count them because some interpret one verse as to cover something and some cover it differently. Now I can, from my memory of the Quran, what the Quran has mentioned, I can tell you that number one is the bout of Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam with the so-called magicians. That's one ayah. Second, the one you have just mentioned. Third, there were many calamities which befell Egypt, which were predicted by Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. One of the calamities was the reddening of the sea or Nile, where it appeared as if blood was flowing. What actually happened was, I have seen the Nile's origin, from where it begins. It begins to emerge. And on the way, there is very red clay on the mountains. Extremely red. I've seen it, you'll be surprised to see it's so red. And when there are rains, then there is flood. And because of the rains, that red matter got dissolved in the water. And it must have rained heavily there, particularly by God's decree, so that all the water of Nile appeared to be blood. But this is also one of the signs. Oh, take it. He'll bring in the chair. In the meantime, you can keep standing, if you like. Then, because of very special weather which hit Egypt, there was heavy rain. There were heavy rains, and because of the flooding and heavy rains, there were many insects and many, like frogs, many small toads and frogs, which naturally sprouted out of the climatic effect. And they filled all of Egypt. It is said that frogs were all over the places. They were in the cooking utensils, and everything they did, there were frogs. So that was also one sign. Then there was drought. Because of flooding, most of the fields were drenched in water, and the people did not have time to sow rice or whatever they did because of rains, heavy rains, continuous rains and flooding. I am myself a farmer, and I know when the rains persist for a long period, you can't sow anything. The whole season is destroyed. So there was shortage of food, and that was heavy rains for one time may turn into a drought at another time. So heavy rains brought along with them the small insects like mosquitoes and other things which are mentioned, and they caused grave diseases. Water turned bad, the crops went wrong, and the animals of different type, particularly the frogs, when they become to grow, they grow so rapidly that they become a scourge. They destroy the peace of everybody. So, pissu as we call it, small mosquitoes which bite and spread diseases, they were plentiful. Then there came this locust. In such weathers, in some distant deserts, locust flourishes. So whatever was left of the greenery was eaten up by locusts. So these people must have a very bad time. Every time one sign appeared, they asked Moses to pray to Allah to take this sign away. And every time he prayed, the sign was taken away. But soon they forgot. Soon they thought it must have been some accident, not design. It may have been just a magic on the part of Moses and this and that. So it was removed and finished. But then came the next sign. So that shows that Hazrat Musa ﷺ must have remained there for about 10 years, because these are the signs which do not appear together. They appear one after the other. In one season one sign appears, in another season another sign appears. So as far as the number goes, it depends on you which sign do you count. Well, the general situation was this. So you can choose some and reject others, but 9 signs can be made out of that.
In various verses it has been mentioned, in the Surah An-Naml, they have mentioned under verse number 13, in the commentary they have given the note, for 9 this verse number 13 just mentions about one thing, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, وَادْخِلْ يَدَكَ فِي جَيْبِكَ تَخْرُجْ بَيْضَاءَ مِنْ غَيْرِ سُوءٍ.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
But about the other sign, this ayah. This is what you mentioned.
Yes. In another place, Surah Al-Araf, verse number 134.
وَالضَّفَادِعَ
فَأَرْسَلْنَا عَلَيْهِمُ الطُّوفَانَ وَالْجَرَادَ وَالْقُمَّلَ وَالضَّفَادِعَ وَالدَّمَ آيَاتٍ مُفَصَّلَاتٍ.
How many? 4 or 5? 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 are mentioned in this verse.
And 1 is mentioned in that.
Yes.
5 and 1, 6. And 2 I have told you already. Hand and the asa. Huh?
Yes.
So 1 more will make all the 9.
Here they have listed 9 in the comment, in the note, put together. For 9 signs, briefly they are the signs: number 1 of the rod, number 2 of the white hand, number 3 of lice, number 4 of frogs, which implied unusual incessant rain, and number 5 of locust, number 6 of blood, and number 7 of the storm which caused the sea water to overwhelm Pharaoh and his host when they were crossing the sea after the Israelites had crossed it.
He counts the last sign of the drowning of the Pharaoh, which in fact was one of the biggest ones. Huh?
And number 8 of drought, and number 9 drought, and number 9 of destruction of fruits.
So you can count as you like. But the situation which I am telling you must have been right. It can't have happened in 1 day, or 1 month, or 1 year. The signs are of different natures. They came and went. So I believe from that Hazrat Moses must have tarried there for about 9 to 10 years. Each year brought a new sign. Drought and wet weather can't go together. And the sign of drowning and other signs can't go together. So Allah Ta'ala showed them different signs at different periods, but the life was made miserable for them. As long as Moses stayed and they rejected him, the life was made miserable. Thank you.